attendees. So I am Shafullah Khan and I am from India, and I am currently working at Wipro as a software engineer, and I have a quite good knowledge about machine learning, uh, like machine learning engineers concepts, and I have also gained some interest in chat GPT, machine learning, data science, and data analyst. And so we have scheduled courses, like we have 6 courses. One we have already done before, that is course 1. It was about introduction to machine learning and artificial intelligence. Those were not attended that lecture. You can also find out the link, the YouTube link. We have recorded this session. This session main motive is to give you a clear basic idea about the specific concepts. So uh, f- like giving 1 hour to these short sessions are more useful. It would help to you also. So uh, right now we have 5 attendees. So can I know the 5 attendees? Can you all people give your introduction accordingly so that we can interact with each other and know each other very well? So let's start with Leo Song.
Hello.
Hello, Leo. How are you?
Yes. Good, thank you. Yeah. So, just briefly introduce myself or my project, or hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a quick introduce myself. Being the series startup entrepreneur. So, and now is into the new project, and also involved in multiple other funding projects. So here I'm looking in the ChatGPT, see if there's any possibility that will not to revolutionize, but we'll see how to fast track, or how to make simplify some of a project, or some of the industry, and then see if any opportunities coming up. So yeah, I'm really interested in the ChatGPT, also with the AIGC, for example, these um, art, artificial impressions in different industry. That's something I'm interested, and wanted to see if any opportunity come up. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Most of the people can find this session useful because it's approximately 1 hour session, and you can have the basic knowledge or basic definitions or basic idea about the GPT. Like we have scheduled uh, 4 more sessions further. Like you can find out uh, in the website. And okay, so David Howard, can you introduce yourself? Like a quick introduction.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name's David. I work at the University of Sydney in the Research Support Services Improvements team. I'm the manager of that team. I guess my interest is around natural language processing in terms of service reporting, sentiment analysis, that sort of thing.
Okay, nice. Rafiq Anwar.
Hi, my name is Rafiq. I'm a software developer Currently, I'm working as a software engineer in Sydney. I have worked with various languages, basically softwares. Recently, I have done some data science master's course and interested in machine learning stuffs.
Okay.
So yeah, NLP, I have done some basic models, but not this kind of GPT models. It's something new to me. So I'm curious to know about it. That's it.
Yeah, good, good. So, Steven, are you there?
Hello, I'm Stephen Zhu. I'm actually a solution architect, contact center practice lead. Being in the contact center industry for like probably 14 years, I'm very keen to understand how ChatGPT can be used in customer services and provide automations and self-services capabilities.
iPhone 5. Who's that? iPhone 5? Actually, he's not able to answer it, I think. Jimmy has no microphone. I think there is no symbol. So let me introduce once again myself, because new joinees are currently joined. So I am Shafiullah Khan, your instructor for the rest of the courses, and we are providing some short course like for 1 hour course, and uh, from that course you can have a clear picture idea, or you can find your way how to approach a chat GPT model. Like, we have numerous topics to discuss. Right now we are in course 2, that is foundations of GPT, and I'm a software engineer, and I have been working in a machine learning concepts also. And I have made some not big but some small scale projects, and I am from India, and yeah, that's it. So we can start our session. So all of you just pay attention to the session, and if you have any doubt, so ping in the chat box and let me know. Okay, so let's start the session. So this is our course 2, foundations of GPT. We are having 4 topics. First is GPT architecture and how it works. Second is pre-training and fine-tuning GPT models. It is the most important thing in GPT architecture. And third is like, what are the best practices for working with GPT. And fourth is building a basic GPT model. So we have covered the cycle of GPT. Like, you can have basic idea in those topics. So let's start with GPT architecture and how it works. So here we are, and you can also read by your own silently. So GPT architecture is based on the transformer architecture. Let me tell you where I am going to say, like, read it twice or read it thrice. So it could help you in a quiz also and give you a better uh, result. So we are having also quiz, so it would be fun. Like, you can gain interest in that. So GPT architecture is based on the transformer architecture, which was introduced in a paper by Vaswani et al. In 2017. Like, before then, no one used GPT, or GPT was not discovered very well. But nowadays it is so important. like GPT has hyped the whole world, like everyone using GPT to do their particular work. Like GPT can save your time, can make your work accurate and all that stuff. So the transformer architecture consists of an encoder and a decoder. Like there are two things. The architecture consists of encoder and decoder, where each layer in the encoder and decoder consists of multi-head attention mechanisms and feed-forward neural networks. The GPT architecture is similar to the transformer architecture, but not only uses the encoder part. The From this line, I I will explain you. The GPT architecture is similar to the transformer architecture, but only uses the encoder part, where encoder part means it is an initial stage where we have to give our input in the encoder part, and the after giving the input in the encoder part, the algorithm which ChatGPT uses to process this, it will give output in the decoder part. S- So the GPT architecture consists of a stack of n transformer blocks, where n is a hyperparameter that determines the depth of the network. Each transformer block consists of two sublayers. Uh, Pay attention to this line also. Each transformer block consists of two sublayer, a multi-head self-attention layer and a feed-forward neural network layer. The output of each transformer block is then passed to the next transformer block, allowing information to flow through the network. Like whatever we have the output of each transformer block, they have passed to the next transformer block to process the data. So it allows the information to flow easily through the required network. Now let's see how GPT architecture works. First basic step is pre-training the model. So the GPT model is pre-trained on a large corpus of text data using a self-supervised learning approach. Self-supervised learning approach means it is a labeled data. Like if we have a raw data, we have to uh, take insights from it and provide the accurate information. So it is self-supervised learning approach. Like we have explained this in our course one session also. Uh, in this approach, the model learns to predict the next word in a sentence or the missing word in a sentence, giving the surrounding words. Like whenever you searched on a GPT or on any AI tool, you have to write something. So the model will if you write like your introduction, like you have given introduction, like you have write introduction, so it will predict the next word automatically. So pre-training does on a large corpus of text data. It works on a large amount of data. And then we have fine tuning. Once the model is pre-trained, it can be fine tuned for specific NLP, that is natural language processing task. For example, if you want to use the model for language generation, you can fine tune it on a specific data set of text. Like it's simple, it's readable, right? So we can understand it. It is in a layman language. So after fine tuning, we have input in encoding. When the GPT model is given a sentence as input, listen carefully. When a GPT model is given a sentence has input, it first encodes the sentence using an embedding layer. The embedding layer maps each word in the sentence to a vector in a high dimensional space. like whenever you put whenever you put something input on a model, like if we have given a sentence as input, first it will encodes the sentence using embedding layer. Right now I'm not having the examples of embedding layer, but the next section I will show you how it works. Like you can also search on your way. So first encodes the it encodes the sentence using an embedding layer. The embedding layer maps each word, so it takes each word in the sentence to a vector in a high dimensional space. Like we have already discussed, it is trained on large corpus of text data. And then we have multi-head self-attention. The encoded sentence is then passed through multiple layers of multi-head self-attention. This layer allows the model to focus on different parts of the sentence at different depths and helps the model to capture long range dependency. So basically, you can see we have lots of uh, GPT models, like AI tools. Like if you want to go anywhere, like we have to search the states or country or cities, and we have inputted the required cities, and we have wrote the we have wrote, tell me how like make itinerary for 3 days for this particular city. First, how it works, they will first map the location, like they have already all those information in AI tool, and then they will accordingly map your itinerary. Like if you have inserted make my itinerary for 4 days for this particular area, so they will made you simple itinerary for 4 days, and it will cover the best restaurant, best uh, places to visit in a certain amount of in a certain period of time. So it is self attention and feed forward network. After the multi-head attention layer, the encoded sentence is passed through a feed forward network. This network applies a non-linear transformation to each token in the sentence. Feed forward network is nothing but like the encoded sentence is passed through a feed forward network. It means uh, there is no any attention to that. Like if we have put anything, so it will fast forward it to the required given network, and this network applies a non-linear transformation to each token in the sentence. And then we have output decoding. Finally, the output of the feed forward network is decoded using a softmax layer, which predicts the probability distribution over the vocabulary of the language. After um, after those steps, we have the last step, output decoding. Like I have earlier said, first we have to input our information in the model, and after inputting the information, the GPT algorithm process the process our input, like process our information, and the algorithm works accordingly. And then after within a few seconds, within a few seconds, the model will give us a basic picture about our output, and it would be helpful. Like they don't give us a output in a complex form. They always thinks that user should get the output in a basic manner, uh, so that students can also refer to those sentences or whatever they have inputted. Now we have pre-training model. Let me tell you about the pre-training model. In the pre-training stage, the GPT is trained on a large corpus text using unsupervised learning, like I have said in the earlier slide. During this stage, be focused to this, right? Pre-training model, and next one is fine-tuning model. Those are the main steps in GPT model. During this stage, the model learns to predict the next word in a sequence of text. Specifically, the input to the model is a sequence of text, and the output is the probability distribution over the next word. You can also write in your notes also this basic definitions also. It would provide you remember those things. And the output is the probability distribution over the next word in the same in the sequence. This is achieved by maximizing the likelihood of the next word given the preceding words in the sequence. Pre-training stage is nothing but we have to pre-train the model, like for example, we are planning for a house. Okay, so before building the house, we have to make some rough idea, like on a drawing page, like how our house could be look like. So we have to make rough sketches. So we that is pre-training. Like before the execution, we have to predict uh, the requirements, the tools, what tools could be used. So pre-training is nothing but we have to pre-train the stage, and it is fine-tuning, like I have said. Pre-training model and fine-tuning model are the most important steps in GPT. In fine-tuning GPT model, fine-tuning a GPT full form is Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Uh, Read it twice. It could be useful in your quiz also. So don't miss the brackets sentences also. Fine-tuning in a GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer model, means taking an existing pre-trained language model and training it on a specific task or domain, such as uh, text classification, text generation, or question answering, by providing it with additional task-specific training data. Like you have also might you have also noticed that like our GPT, chat GPT, or any open AI tool, like they don't have a video format. They only provide the text format. They only provide the information in the text format. Like you can ask for give me the YouTube link for give me the best YouTube link for this particular topic or any kind of uh, sentences, but it couldn't give us any video, but we can have the YouTube link. So basically it works on a such as text classification, text generation, or question answering, that is Q&A, by providing it with additional task specific training data. By doing so, the model can adapt and improve its performance on the specific task it is being fine-tuned for. So basically, pre-trained, like we have to pre-train the stage, we have to pre-train those text, we have to write the requirements before the execution of the building. Like I have provided you the example of building. We have to provide, we have to write those requirements before the execution of the building, and then we have to fine tune the model. Like, and then we have to make certain decisions to what we have to uh, execute. So these two are the main steps. These are the basic steps, and in each and every model, like big model or small model, these steps are never going to um, like these steps are more useful. We can't make any model without them. So I will give you 2 minutes to read this because it will also help you on a quiz also. So I will give you to read this. So read it. It will take 1 minute. And whatever you find the like it is important line, so write it in your notes also. It will help you in future. So going forward, after reading it, make the chat box, like use the chat box for some work. Like don't make the chat box silent. Put your yes or no in the chat box also. Okay. So we are moving forward. Cool, cool. Uh, read about the fine tuning. Like focus on the like basically focus on the full forms. Full forms are the most important thing you can have in your quiz, and what uh, task or domain they have used. Like we have to use in a GPT, such as text classification. Those are main lines. If you want, we can also provide you the PPT also after the session. But right now you have to make it your own way to understand the problem. Uh, Rafiq Anwar, what kind of embeddings GPT uses? Like in the OpenAI embedding API, we have like fine tune after the key component of fine tuning the GPT. It allows you to measure the relatedness of different text strings. This embedding can then be used for number of use cases. Like I will write in a chat box, so all can have the information. uh, how actually the fine tuning done? Do they use RL? In your language, does RL means reinforcement learning? If I am not wrong. Okay. For fine tuning the like model using RL, that is reinforcement learning. First, we need to frame the problem into a agent environment setting. Like you have mentioned the RL, like you have, like the basic AI thing, how the AI works. Like we have agent environment and etc. So we need to frame the problem into a agent environment setting where the agent can interact with the environment to get the reward for its action. So this reward is used as feedback to train the model, and this the reward is used in a loss function and the policy is updated. So basically, for your question also, I will write one thing in the chat box. So, so moving forward, we have lot to cover. Steps for fine tune a GPT model. Uh, do attention. Select a pre-trained GPT model that best fits your use case and requirements. Prepare a data set for fine tuning. You can take also snap for this in your phones, so you can have later on also. Prepare a data set for fine tuning that is specific to your use case or domain. It is not new. What we have learned in the previous slide also, we have expanded. We have expanded in basic steps over here. So train the GPT model on the task specific data set, used a supervised learning approach. You evaluate the performance of the fine-tuned model on a validation set to ensure that it has learned the task specific patterns effectively. Finally, use the fine-tuned GPT model to perform the desired task on new inputs. So it is readable, right? It is understandable. Read it. those are the basic steps you can follow for the fine-tune a GPT model. So moving forward, we have quiz. So if you want to take few minutes for this also, read it.
Yeah, I think we can have a quiz and the reading at the same time. So like
Okay, I
people
will.
can-
Okay, I will share the link for the quiz.
yes, thank you.
Please start the quiz. We have less time right now. You can find the quiz very easy if you have paid attention to my, like, whenever I've said read it twice or read it thrice. So it would be helpful. So your timing starts now for the quiz.
Cool. I think probably next time we can give in some reward based on the quiz completion. But probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So some of I've seen some of the community they have a NFT or sort of things they're giving out for people who attend the whole sessions and also complete the quiz. And Shapira, at the end, we also have some conclusion, right?
What?
So we will have some conclusion after quiz time, and there will be some Q&A as well.
Okay.
Sorry, I haven't said hi to everybody. My name is Nicholas. So I'm the Sydney AI Web3 event organizer. So we've been hosting quite a lot of Web3 events like among 2018 here 2021. And last 2 years, we've been more focused on the AI meetups and tutorial. So this is our session 2 and delivered by Shapira. So take just talking through all the like from the fundamental knowledge to the some of the use case of ChatGPT. And we also have some upcoming courses coming in, and it's more about how to build out the application and introduce like a more like real life scenarios of the ChatGPT. So yeah, thanks for joining. Oh yeah, quiz completed. So I think for quiz will be taking 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, I think Shafira, we probably can carry on and to see if anyone have a questions or do we have a conclusions?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I see some people already leaving, so we probably can move on a little bit quick.
So should I
So
resume the lecture?
yeah. Please continue.
Okay. Is it my screen visible?
Yes.
So the next topic is best practices for working with GPT. We will I will be a little bit faster for this time. We have very less time to cover it. So like don't worry, we will provide you the PPT also. Best practices for working with GPT is start with a clear problem statement. Before working with GPT, make sure you have a clear problem statement in mind. GPT is a powerful tool, but it's important to have the specific goal in mind for how you want to use it. And then choose the right pre-trained model. There are different pre-trained models available for GPT, each with different capabilities and size. Choose the one that best suits your needs. Fine tune the model to achieve the best result. It's important to fine tune the pre-trained model on a relevant dataset specific to your use case. Choose the right hyperparameters. Hyperparameters such as learning rate, batch size, and the number of epochs can have a significant impact on the performance of the model. Experiment with different hyperparameters to find the best combination. Like giving you a 30 seconds to read this, it is easy. Uh, Reading once can also be helpful. Like David and Steven are they both are very interactive. They both have completed the quiz within the time. What about Jimmy? Jimmy, you haven't completed the quiz. So moving forward, building a basic GPT model. First, we have to build a GPT, that is generative pre-trained transformer model from scratch. Can be a complex task. However, you can build a basic GPT model using a pre-trained GPT model and some Python code. Here are the steps to build a basic GPT model. Pay attention to the steps. Install the required libraries. Like we have to import the libraries like import NumPy has MP, import Panda has PD, import Matplotlib has MLT, import Seaborn has SNS. Like we usually import those libraries when we are working on machine learning projects. So import the libraries. We will need to install the transformer library, which provides access to pre-trained GPT models, and the PyTorch library, which is used for deep learning. Um, it is important to read this GPT models and the PyTorch library. Load the pre-trained model. Choose a pre-trained GPT model from the transformers library and load it using the from underscore pretend method. Tokenize the input text. Use the tokenizer provided with the pretend model to tokenize the input text into a sequence of tokens that the model can process. Next is generate text. Use the generate method of the pre-trained model to generate text based on the input sequence of tokens. Then we have a code where I have said these steps we have implemented this code also. So earlier we have said that we have to import the libraries such as PyTorch and GPT models, which is basically used for deep learning. So import talk from transformers, import GPT-2 tokenizer. Like here I have said, tokenize the input text. Use the tokenizer provided with the pre-trained model to tokenize the input text. And then load the pre-trained model and tokenizer. Load the data. This the next step. Set the device to use for the model, where device equals to talk dot device CUDA if talk dot CUDA is available, else where we have used if else statement, and then set the input text. We have defined the input text. What would be our input? The quit brown box, and then tokenize the input text, and then generate the text, and then decode the output tokens. And after all the following steps, we have printed the output text. Like whatever we have read here, these steps, we have implemented these steps over here. Okay, it's a clear idea. Whatever we have read here, these steps, it is basic, it is simple. You can also do it by your own way, just giving you a clear picture or idea about it. These steps are implemented over here, and also we have uh, wrote the what steps are executing over here.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, if you have question, write it in a chat box.
Oh yeah, just put the title. Okay, I will do it.
Uh, do we have any popular libraries list for the trained model? Uh, According to you, what does the trained model is like in ChatGPT or in normal model like we have used in deep learning or machine learning model?
Just for ChatGPT.
Yeah, in ChatGPT, we can have like torque, uh, and like we can also use the Python libraries also. uh, like I will write it in the chat box also. People can also could get the information. Like we can also have TensorFlow. We can also as NumPy, Pandas, Matplot, Lib, Scikit-learn, NLTK, Flask, uh, PyTalk, Django. So we can use those libraries according to our needs, what our problem is. That's list of the libraries we can also use. It's NumPy, huh? Not LumPy. It's typo. So yeah, we have completed our short short course on ChatGPT. So yeah, attendees, we have completed our course too. If you find it's interactive and fun, so you can also join to our next courses also. The all courses are belongs to each other. If you have attended the course 1, you get a simple idea about course 2. Now you have attended the course 2, like now you can have a clear basic idea for the course 3. So all are um, related to each other, so don't miss out the next session also. So we can wrap up, put in the chat box. You're welcome, Steven. Yours, sure, David.
Thanks very
Let's.
much. Have a good night, all.
I need to drop off. We try to attend the next session. Yeah, sure, sure. So let's meet to the next session. It is also related to each other. So we can implement some examples into the next session. So it's basic, right? If we have 1 hour, so we can have our 1 hour. So we can do some productivity in 1 hour. So it is worth it. According to me, it's worth it because you can gain information, some basic information. If you are into the machine learning, GPT, deep learning concepts, like you have interest in this. So can we wrap this, Nicholas?